Chapter 15, The Heart to Heart. The studio was quiet. Not silent, never silent, but quiet in the way that only came after hours of sound, when the hum of electronics became background, when the faint smell of stale coffee and takeout cartons clung to the air. Josh sat slumped in the rolling chair, staring at the half-finished track glowing on the screen. His headphones hung around his neck. His notebook sat open on the desk, covered in scratches of ink, verses crossed out, rhymes half-formed, bars he didn't know if he could say out loud. He had poured everything into this beat: anger, pride, defiance. Every word was aimed at Rico, at the voices that doubted him. But no matter how hard he tried, no matter how sharp the lyrics cut, there was a hollowness underneath. A part of him knew why. The door opened softly. Micah stepped inside, her hoops catching the low light, her backpack still slung over one shoulder like she hadn't even stopped at home. Josh straightened, guilt flashing across his face. "Didn't think you'd come tonight." "I wasn't going to," Micah admitted, shutting the door behind her. She set her bag down, her eyes flicking over the cluttered desk, the tangle of wires, the scrawl of lyrics. "But we can't keep talking through screens. Or through tracks. We need to actually talk." Josh nodded, pushing the chair back so she could sit on the couch. She didn't. She stood, arms folded, looking at him like she was trying to see straight through the glasses, straight through the bravado. "They're tearing you apart out there," she said softly. "And me with you." Josh's shoulders tensed. "You think I don't know that? Every time I check my phone, somebody's clowning. Rico, his fans, random nobodies. They don't respect me, Micah. They don't respect what I'm building. And do you think this helps?" she shot back. "Trading insults like kids on a playground? Writing verses about bottles and bedtime just because he made a joke?" "It's not just a joke," Josh snapped, his voice echoing against the studio walls. "It's my life. My daughter. The fact that I'm a father doesn't make me weak. And I'm not about to let anybody tell me it does." Micah's chest rose and fell, steadying herself. "I'm not asking you to let them win. I'm asking you not to lose yourself proving you're worth more than their words." Josh froze. The silence between them stretched. Her voice softened. "You don't need to prove it to me. Or to Bay. Or even to yourself. You're already enough. But when you get caught up in these battles, when you let them pull you down to their level, you start believing you're nothing more than what they say." Josh rubbed his hands over his face, glasses askew. He didn't want to cry, but the sting was there anyway, behind his eyelids. "Do you know what it's like?" he asked hoarsely. "Working 2 jobs, trying to pay rent, trying to buy studio time with money I don't even have, then coming home and rocking my baby girl to sleep, only to have the world laugh like I'm less of a man for it? Do you know what that feels like?" Micah walked toward him slowly, each step measured, like approaching a wounded animal. She knelt beside his chair, placing her hand gently on his knee. "I don't know what it feels like," she admitted. "But I know what it looks like. And it looks like strength. It looks like love. And it looks like the reason I fell for you in the first place." Josh's throat tightened. His defenses cracked. He looked at her then, not the crowd, not the critics, not even Rico, but her. The girl who wore shiny hoops like armor, who walked across campus with her head high even when whispers tried to pull her down, who believed in him when believing in himself felt impossible. "You still believe in me," he whispered. "With everything I've got," she said without hesitation. Something broke loose inside him. He leaned forward, pressing his forehead against hers, their breaths mingling in the quiet hum of the studio. "I don't deserve you," he murmured. "You don't get to decide that," she whispered back. "I chose you." For the first time in days, Josh let himself exhale. They stayed like that for a long while, the silence no longer sharp but soft, like a blanket around them. Eventually, Micah pulled back just enough to meet his eyes again. "Josh, my family thinks I'm making a mistake with you. My friends whisper behind my back. They see the battles, the grind, the struggle, and they think it's all just drama. Josh's stomach nodded. And you? What do you see? Micah's lips curved into the faintest smile. I see a man worth standing beside. Even when the world doesn't. Josh swallowed hard, then reached for her hand. Then let's show them. Not by fighting. Not by answering every diss. But by making music that's bigger than all of this. Something real. Something nobody can laugh at. Micah squeezed his hand. Together? Together, he promised. That night, Josh didn't write about Rico. He didn't write about pride or pain or being disrespected. He wrote about Micah. About her laughter, her fire, her stubbornness. About the way she held him up without demanding anything back. And for the first time, the words didn't feel hollow. They felt alive. The next morning, Micah walked across campus with a weight lifted off her shoulders. The whispers were still there, snide comments about Rico's diss track, jokes about Josh's name, but they no longer pierced the same way. Because she knew something they didn't. She had seen him in his rawest moment. She had seen the man behind the bars, the father behind the glasses, the lover who put his heart into every beat. And that was something no diss track could erase.